What up, Knicks fans? NBA trade deadline day is here, and we're going to touch on the latest rumors surrounding the Knicks. I also want to let you guys know we are going to be live on the channel in a couple of hours, around 12, around noon Eastern time. We're going to keep keeping you up to date with everything that's going around the NBA as well as the New York Knicks. We're going to be your one-stop shop on NBA trade deadline day. So if you're going to join us on live later in today's show, I want you to type "Let's Go Knicks" in the comments and make sure you guys subscribe so we can see you then. NBA trade deadline day is here. It's one of my favorite days on the NBA calendar just because you get to see so much things happen. So many moves get made. Last year on NBA trade deadline day, 9 different trades happened. I do think the Knicks will make at least one trade today. Could it be involving Cam Reddish? We'll break that down, but let's start first with Josh Hart, who has recently been named a trade target from Ian Begley of SNY, the best Knicks beat reporter there is. He reported that the Knicks are doing some due diligence on Josh Hart, the guard of the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to pull my windy little Brian Windhorst moment right here. Why would they do that? And that's because could Cam Reddish be going to Portland? Also, Ian Begley is reporting the Knicks and Blazers have touched base on a potential Cam Reddish deal. So the Knicks are interested in Josh Hart, and the Knicks and Blazers have talked about Cam Reddish. Sounds like the Knicks want to trade Cam Reddish and some picks for Josh Hart, and I can get down with that. I love to just keep Cam Reddish, but I think we know that's not going to happen. I'd also like to be a trillionaire. And as of right now, I'm only a billionaire, so that's not going to happen. Look, anything can happen today, and maybe, Cam Reddish isn't going to be a part of the Knicks anymore. That's just not going to happen. Let's talk about Josh Hart, though, as I do think he would be a viable trade target for New York because he gives you what you need at some areas. He's a good perimeter defender. He's a guy that's extremely athletic. He can guard the 1, 2, or 3 on a team. He gets you 9.5 points per game. He is legitimately the best rebounding guard in the National Basketball Association this year, averaging 8.2 rebounds per game. He can also be a secondary and tertiary playmaker, almost 4 assists per game. He's efficient from the field at 50%. But his three-point percentage is down this year at just 30.4%, and he's only getting up 2.2 threes per night, so he's really not stretching the floor. That's my one cause for concern about Hart is his lack of three-point shooting. He's shot good before in his career. He has a career three-point percentage of 34.3% on almost 4 attempts per game, but right now he's struggling to find that shot from the outside, which is concerning for me. But just the way that he plays basketball, he's a winning basketball player. One of those Villanova boys, can play perimeter defense. He can get to the cup. He's a one-man fast break, and he's an elite rebounder. And as we know at Knicks fans, the defensive rebounds that the Knicks have allowed, especially in overtime in the fourth quarter, have really been kind of hindering this team from joining the top of the Eastern Conference. How many defensive rebounds, as the Knicks have played beautiful defense, have not been able to finish possessions by grabbing that rebound. Not saying Josh Hart is going to fix that problem, but he's definitely going to help it as he's one of the best in the NBA at that spot. I just like him as a player. Wish he was a little bit better of a three-point shooter. We've seen in stretches, like when he got traded to the Pelicans last year, he shot 37% from downtown. So he's been a good shooter before. Just right now it isn't working. Maybe when he gets to those Madison Square Garden rims, he'd be able to knock some shots down. I do want to ask this question. Should the Knicks trade for Josh Hart? I think it would cost you Cam Reddish and maybe a handful of second-round picks, probably 2 second-round picks. So we'll frame the deal as this. Cam Reddish, 2 second-round picks for Josh Hart. Would you make the deal? I say yes because you're never going to ever play Cam Reddish again, and if you can get something for him and a guy like Josh Hart who's a winning player, I would do it. Let me know. Type T for trade. Type P for pass. We're going to get to more Knicks trade rumors coming up in a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor of New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. That is Athletic Greens. Go to athleticgreens.com/chat sports. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health which is something that I need. I start the day with making one great choice, AG1, and more healthy decisions then follow. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. I also love that it costs less than $3 a day. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Athletic Greens promotes gut health, supports immunity, and boosts energy. Everything that I need, you could also use it. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. The latest surrounding OG Anunoby. We've heard some conflicting reports because yesterday Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports reported that the Knicks were out on OG Anunoby. But it doesn't sound like they're all the way out, but they definitely have some pause for concern. Ian Begley put out a report today where he said the Knicks have expressed interest in the Toronto Raptors OG Anunoby, but Anunoby's player option for the 2024-2025 season and uncertainty about whether he'd re-signed with the Knicks are complicating factors in a potential Knicks-Raptors trade. What? Are you kidding me? Isn't this why Leon Rose was brought to Madison Square Garden? To get star players to stay, to sign star players. If Leon Rose can't get OG Anunoby to sign a long-term extension with the New York Knicks, that's a problem. That is an absolute problem. You cannot move like this in this type of business. It's a deal-making business. And if Leon Rose can't make a deal with OG Anunoby to keep OG in the mecca of basketball, in Madison Square Garden, in New York City, why the hell is he our general manager? I just really don't understand that. Not a fan of that. And if that's the case, that's an absolute problem. We know OG is a good player. He borders on a great player, a guy averaging 17 points per game. He gets you 5.5 rebounds. He's a beast on the defensive end, 2.1 steals per night, leads the league in that area, and he's an efficient ball player. No inconsistencies, no 6 for 23 nights like RJ Barrett, 45% from the field and almost 37% from downtown. OG is an elite two-way wing. He's an elite two-way player. He can guard point guards. He can damn near guard every position on the floor, except maybe a guy like Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic and Bam Adebayo. Those may be the only three players in the NBA that OG may not be able to guard. He could play small ball 5. He's really a small ball 4, but with Tom Thibodeau, he's going to play that wing spot, and you'll have a lineup with Brunson, OG, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. Notice I didn't say the 2 guard because I don't know who it would be. Maybe Grimes is going in the deal. I would hate that. Maybe it's Barrett going in the deal. I could talk myself into that. But I do want everyone to understand, OG Anunoby is not going to be cheap. There was a report a couple of weeks ago, which we broke down on the channel, which is why you subscribe, that the Knicks were ready to offer 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby. 3 picks is a little rich, but it's also sticker shock. You hear 3 first-round picks, and you're like, whoa, 3 first-round picks. What if all those picks are protected, and none of them are good picks? What if I'm trading you the Milwaukee pick, the Detroit pick, and the Wizards pick? Sure, I'd give all 3 of those up for OG Anunoby because none of those picks are top 10 picks. So all first-round picks are not created equal. Don't get the sticker shock of seeing 3-4 first-round picks. Look at the protections. Look at who those picks come from. If the Knicks give up 3 unprotected first-round picks, then we could have a problem. Then we can go and mob and riot MSG and go look for Jimmy James stolen. That's not the case, though. That won't happen. Point of the fact is he's not going to be cheap, but the Knicks have the assets to make it happen. 8 tradable first-round picks over the next 7 years. They want to go get a player, they can get it with the ammunition that they have. I want to ask you guys before we jet up on out of here and get ready for the live show coming up in a couple of hours, should the Knicks trade for OG Anunoby? Why for yes and for no? Sound off in the comment section for me down below. And make sure you guys are following me over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Knicks all day, every day. I live tweet the Knicks. It's another way you can stay up to date. And I want to follow some Knicks fans back and some real ones that finished today's show. If you DM me, quote, I know ball, I'll give you a follow back and we could chop it up.